Hello everybody, and welcome back to Let's Play Dark Souls 2. I'm Furiora Health here, and it's time to move on with the rest of the game. Now I'm trying something new with this episode. I'm actually in post-commentary at the moment, because the place where I recorded this footage was not the best place to record audio. So, I'm doing it later. I also want to apologise for what's happening with the last episode. This is actually episode 5. And what happened with episode 4 was, it got corrupted after I'd already deleted the source files, so I couldn't upload it to YouTube. In that episode, we completed the loop in the Lost Bastille, as well as finishing No Man's Wharf, beating the Flexile Sentry and the Ruin Sentinels. In this video, I go on to get the first of the Lord Souls, the Lost Sinner. And I really want to apologise. I'd love to go back and do No Man's Wharf again, but Dark Souls auto-saves, and I can only save in the one slot. So in other words, I can't go back. We changed a few things up in the last episode. We got some new armour, which I'm now wearing. And we replaced our fire longsword with a scimitar, because the moveset's a bit more like the katana we're eventually going to be using. I want to get used to using this kind of moveset. As stated, we beat the Flexile Sentry, and we beat the Ruin Sentinels in the last episode. And completed the loop so far into the Lost Bastille. Here I wasn't quite sure what I was doing, so it's a bit weird for me doing this post-commentary thing, but hopefully it turns out alright. I won't be doing this very often. I prefer to have my reactions live, you know, because I feel that's part of the Let's Play thing, is that the reactions should be live rather than post. Post-commentary walkthroughs have their own place on YouTube, but I don't feel... I mean, I'm okay with Let's Plays that are done post-commentary, but I prefer it when the reactions are genuine, you know. Here I like to be able because I didn't have the right spell selected and I almost got hit because of it, but it turned out alright. Those guys are nasty. That little flop attack they do does a ridiculous amount of damage. And I mean ridiculous. So, yeah, I don't like these guys. We'll see a lot of them later too. What to talk about? So, well, first of all, obviously, there is a new Let's Play out on the channel. Not a new Let's Play, but something kind of new. But let's see the bosses that we missed in this run on that. Me and my girlfriend, Nimith of the Shadows, were playing co-op mode in possible preparation for a New Game Plus run together, which should happen after I've beaten this normal run. We should be ready to play the New Game Plus run. If anyone's been wondering where the Bracing Knuckle Ring is, it's there. So just follow the route from the beginning of the first bonfire here. So that's new. There's also potential Let's Play of Warrior Within on the horizon. Warrior Within is my favourite of the Prince of Persia series, and I just wish that it wasn't filled with game-breaking bugs. It's a great game. I love the combat, and I actually like the dark, gritty story, because I kind of like that aesthetic they were going for. And also, you try being hunted by an immortal beast for the last 7 or so years and still be pure and innocent after that. You won't be. His time being chased by the Dahaka changed the prince, and I like that. He went back to being a more charismatic person in The Two Thrones, because having beaten the Empress of Time and stopped the Creation of the Sands, literally cheating fate, he felt the burden lifted from him. He felt better. This room can be nasty if you don't have a spell or an attack of some kind. Also, the ones with the little glowy things inside them, these actually don't do quite as much damage, but they will start doing petrification damage if they hit you. Also, yes, that was a bonfire up there, but we'll need a fragrant branch of yore to be able to release the guy in front of it from his stone imprisonment. And even then, I'd recommend killing all the enemies in here 10 times. There's some life gems back here that I didn't remember. There's also a royal soldier. I tried to get fancy and parry him and end up paying for it. It's like I let him live. I could have finished him there, kept comboing. That was me being stupid. Then I tried to parry him and paid for it. So I decided to go in and finish him off with some swift curved sword R1s. So that's the that part. Now here I make a mistake in not having my shield up, because I underestimate the range of these archers and get nailed 3 times in the face for it. Actually no, the first shot hits my shield, the second one hits me straight in the head, and breaks and stamina breaks me, and then I take another one to the face, which wasn't fun. I actually end up cutting the footage here in a second because I honestly didn't think you'd want to watch me kill these guys up here 10 times, which I did just to stop them respawning and make this bonfire we're coming up to safer to use. This first one is different because there's 2 guys down here, but pretty much all I did during this bit of footage that you're missing is I went to the bonfire, rested, killed the 3 guys, rested again, killed the 3 guys again, and so on. And I did that until, with the magic of video editing, they're all dead. They now no longer respawn in this area, so I don't have to worry about being blindsided by them when I use the bonfire. This area coming up is nasty, even with magic, because the enemies in here do not take a lot of magic-based damage, and I make a stupid early mistake here. I get this guy, don't follow him up correctly, I should have done the jump attack, catch him with this one here, and immediately get nailed with an arrow. There's 3 crossbowers in there. And I take a lot of unnecessary damage. I could have done this room a lot better than I did. I took so much unnecessary damage in this room. Also, since the Scorched Convict plug on screen now gifted me Dark Souls, the original, for Christmas, there's also a blind Let's Play of that possibly coming. I've played it a little bit into the game to get the settings right, because I was getting some weird lag, and I've figured that out now with DS Fix. And, yeah. So that's a potential thing on the horizon. Possibly. I might play Dark Souls 1. We'll see. I'll probably beat this game first though before I do a Let's Play of that. Or hell, I might do it alongside, because I do want to do a blind run of Dark Souls 1, because I've never really seen any into it. I mean, I know a few of the bosses in the game, but I've never really seen too much into the gameplay, so it'd be nice to do a blind run of that game. Also, don't miss the lacerating knives here. There's only 5 in any run, so if you want to go with a bleed build, make sure you get them. This area is hell on any game for these guys. They're highly resilient to magic and completely immune to fire. I'm going to take a guess that because they're in water, they do not like lightning. I tried luring one back here because I thought they couldn't get through the door, but I was thinking of the Skull of the First Sin Edition where you've actually got to fight the Flexile Sentry down here. You do have to fight him in No Man's Wharf as well, so you have to fight him twice on that game, and you meet him here. He has the same amount of health too. So I'm basically trying to kite him around the thing here, and I still nearly die. A lot of people just run through this area, taking 2 attempts to get through. The first one just opening the gate and then dying. The second one running through to the Lost Sinner itself. But I wanted to try and do it in one run. As you can see, my scimitar is doing far more damage to it than my spells were. But I don't really want to engage this thing in close quarters. I didn't really want to engage this thing in close quarters because I haven't figured out his attack patterns yet. And a sort of random soldier just drops from the sky. I do eventually kill this thing. Just being very cautious because I'm kind of low on health. I don't want to use too many healing items. I want to save all I can for the Lost Sinner, the boss coming up. Who's quite hard, actually. She was apparently even harder before she got patched, but I still find it quite difficult, although you'll see later that I get a very lucky run here this time. So I use a life gem wanting to save my Estus for in use in the battle. Although you want to kill that first one regardless, because right here is a very important item, the second Sublime Bone Dust in the game. So you'll be able to upgrade your Estus Flash to +2. Now I almost biff it here because of this one. I end up fighting this thing out here rather than luring it back into that area, and just as I'm about to finish this one off, another one, which is rating around the left corner there, decides to blindside me, and I almost biff it because of it. Yeah. You can see this fight doesn't go well. I'm still not good at these guys. I don't like fighting these things. I'm not sure if you fight these things later. I've not made it far enough into the game to find out. The furthest I've ever got into the game was when I was playing it with my girlfriend, and we got all the way to the Smelter Demon, and it took us a lot of attempts to beat it. You'll be seeing that in Co-op Episode 2, The Wrath of the Smelter Demon, where we die repeatedly. And see, there's the one that blindsided me, and look how much damage that did. That was one hit. That was one clean hit. So I immediately run away, of course, to save my own life. Trying my best not to die here, and I ended up bringing it back into this room and getting a very good set of loot. So I tried some fire here. I figured that he might be immune because he's in the water, so I waited for him to get out of the water and threw another shot at him, but as you can see, it still didn't do anything, so I figured he's completely immune to fire damage. So I switched back to my soul arrows, and then accidentally switched my main weapon again, so I ended up trying to cast a sorcery with a Pyromancy flame, which obviously doesn't work. It takes 2 soul arrows to do less damage, near enough damage to my sword, but it's still less. 2 soul arrows do 114 damage, while my sword does 134. So, my sword definitely kills this thing quicker, but I'd rather not be in melee range of this thing. After this thing blindsided me and took off like 3/4 of my health. So if you have magic and you have enough soul arrows to do this, then this is a strategy. It's a slow but safe strategy. I'm not sure about backstabbing these things. I have a faint memory that my girlfriend backstabbed them a couple of times, but I can't be sure. So don't quote me on the fact they can be backstabbed. Don't quote me on that one. I get really lucky with the kiting on this one. It just doesn't figure out how to get up to me. There's only the 3 of them. I forgot what this thing actually dropped. What did it drop? Oh yeah, the Bellkeeper bow. So apparently there are Bellkeepers? I don't know. That's the only, there are only 3 in here, I'm pretty sure. Watch them now, I'm just going to remember there's going to be 1 just before it comes out and hits me in the video. So I'm doing some looking around here. Trying to figure out where the fudge I'm supposed to be going. I'm thinking you haven't missed anything, basically. There's got the first sim, there's a hide night down here as well. Oh yeah, there's these things. The mummies. Not fun, these things. I mean, watch this. Don't think this one gets a chance to explode, but I know another one does it right in my face. And I block it, but you'll see just straight away from how much it takes away in my shield, that just how much raw damage it would have done if it hit me. Maybe there isn't another one that gets a chance to... Oh yes, there is one that blindsides me a bit later. Luckily I got my shield up in time. That's why you level adaptability, folks, is to make it so you do things like raise your shield and drink Espers faster. Very important. It also increases your roll frames, both your roll and your backstep side frames. I had some lighting issues here, but that's just part of the course with this game. And can't open that door because you need the Bastille key, which in this version you can only get through beating the gargoyles in the Bellkeeper's area, which I don't want to go through because fuck the PvP of that area. In the last score the first Sin edition, earlier in this video we fought one of the big mummies with the sickles. I call them pimp mummies. There was on a narrow bridge and we got a human effigy after rolling through some barrels right on an edge. That's where the Bastille key is located in the Skull of the First Sin edition, so it's much easier to get. Also, we opened Macduff's bonfire last time, the blacksmith, and the dull ember, which is an Old Iron Keep in this, well, not in the Old Iron Keep DLC, but in the Iron Keep itself. It's solely in the Iron Keep in this version of the game. In Skull of the First Sin, it's right by that the Tower Apart bonfire we got to after beating the Pursuer. I think I mentioned that in the other video, but I'm just mentioning it here again. For those of you who have not seen that video, and if you've not seen it, why the hell haven't you? You should be watching this thing as a series, not a single video. This is why I almost get blindsided by one of the mummies, I think. It's like, I don't know where the fudge it came from. I walk into this side of the cell to check I'd not missed anything, and just as I'm coming out, I believe I just spot it. Oh no, it was these 2 cells. See, I see one coming at me from this direction. I walk in to get the treasure and then turn around and just see this thing running towards me. And then I checked if there's a second one, because I think another one... Yeah, there it is. I just see it on the corner of my camera and roll, and look what that did to my stamina bar. That was just one, and again. I don't take risks with these things. They do a lot of damage. Far more damage than I think they should. Well, we're coming up to the Lost Sinner boss now. There's like one more area to go through and there's no enemies there. If you have the Bastille key, so you have beaten the gargoyles, or indeed are playing Skull of the First Sin edition, if you can get a torch down here, which I'm out to do on several runs to clear out all the enemies in the way, or the bucket of course, you can take the torch through here. Or of course you can just go back up to the bonfire and light the torch there and then come back down. you can go through the 2 side doors here to light this room up, make it much easier to see the lost sin. I think I also missed an item on the left there, but I was too excited to go into the boss fight. I just wanted to get it over with. I've also noticed that this effect tends to zoom in a lot closer if it's a Great Soul. Like, it does 2 jerks in if it's a normal boss, but if it's a Great Soul, it jerks in a 3rd time, and that looked incredibly painful. So here's the Lost Sinner. Note she's actually a female, and I can forgive her terrible hand positioning on the blade because her hands are handcuffed. Normally you should have one up by the guard and one by the pommel. I'll let her off because she's handcuffed. She's apparently a very powerful pyromancer, and her set actually absorbed most of her pyromancy powers, that's why she can't use them. But yet when you use the handcuff in particular, it actually makes you more, your pyromancy is more powerful. She's got a lot of attacks involving her blade, and I'm sorry that the lighting in this room is really bad, but I just don't want to fight the gargoyle. More specifically, it's not the gargoyles I don't want to fight, it's I don't want to go through the area because it's PvP, it's total PvP in there, and I really don't want to do it. So she's got several sword combos, most of which are 3 hits. If you see her go for all 3 hits, then you've got a safe follow-up. I eventually later on start rolling the 3rd, which is either a forward thrust or an overhead strike. That thrust there, or a big overhead. I start rolling the big overhead, which gives you more time to counter-attack. She also can do 1 or 2 slashes and jump back like that. And that jump can actually be an attack as well. She'll jump high into the air and come crashing down on you with a downward stab attack, sorry. Which I only learnt in this video can be followed up, and I get hit by it twice. Because here's the stab look, and then the follow-up. I thought she was vulnerable. Because I've never seen her follow that attack up before, so I thought she was vulnerable. She's very agile, and the fact that it's so dark in the room can make it hard to keep a lock on her if she gets far away. The target lock will automatically unlock on you, which can lead to an easy blindside if you're not careful. I could be rolling through most of these hits, but I don't trust myself for the adaptability on this character. I really haven't been leveling it. While with my other character I was playing through with my girlfriend, Sabos, he doesn't actually use a shield, so I didn't want to have a shield. So I tried to level adaptability, you know, so I can dodge roll through things, and again I get clipped by that follow-up attack. But I haven't leveled the adaptability on this character very much, so I don't trust myself. See, there's the target lock going on me. I don't trust myself to roll through the attack, so I start blocking the obvious ones. Although, as I say, I do start rolling through that big overhead, because it's pretty obvious when it's coming. It's got a lot of wind up and plenty of time for me to roll to the side, so I start rolling that last hit. But at the end of this boss fight, most of the levels I get from it go straight into adaptability. I do get some other stats as well, but most of it goes into adaptability, I think. Just kind of need to level that up, so I can actually dodge shit. See, there we go, I'm starting to roll that last hit now. I've tried to get a bit smarter, so I'm hitting the microphone there, folks. On New Game Plus, there's actually two other Pyromancers that come out when she hits about half health to make the fight even harder. Start casting things like Fire Orbs and Forbidden Suns at you. I think they cast Forbidden Sun. This fight's all in all, I actually like this one. It's very reaction based, I feel. Like most of the boss fights in Dark Souls, this one, but I really like this one. It feels fun. I don't know why this one in particular feels more fun than a lot of the other ones, but I like the combat against the humanoid enemies where they've got a weapon and they're swinging at you. I really feel like, you know, all the games, see there's the target lock going again because the room's so dark. All the battles in the game are pretty much reaction-based battles. You have to let your opponent make a move, you dodge or block the attack, and then you counter them during their vulnerable parts. And see, I try and get fancy here, and I almost biff it, because I haven't used a single healing item, so I want to kill her without healing. So I start getting really cautious, but I do make some stupid mistakes that almost get me killed, and I'd be really pissed if I died at this point. But I get her in the end with this, I think this next attack, next time she does a 3-hit combo, I think I get the kill. I might be here actually, yeah, there we go. So there's the kill. Great Soul Embraced, so another way you can tell it was a Great Soul is, it gives you that message, Great Soul Embraced. She gives you a lot of souls for that too. Now her weapon is an Ultra Great Sword you can get from her Soul Weapon. It is an Ultra Great Sword class weapon. It's decent, I guess. Also in here is a Fragrant Branch of Yore, which we're going to be using in this episode as well. It's a decent weapon, I guess, but it damages you every time you hit something with it, so it's not my kind of weapon. Also, if you've not done this before, you'll get an achievement for kindling this bonfire. I also forgot to record the Lost Sinner both times we fought her. We killed her both first times when me and my girlfriend played it, so I forgot to hit the record button on both attempts, which is really annoying. And I accidentally skipped some dialogue here.
That is more than most undead can say.
Accidentally skipped some dialogue there. I forgot she says something different when you first get Soul of a Great One. You can see how I level up adaptability a fair bit. I think I get another attunement slot and some more dexterity, because I'm going to need dexterity to wield the katana that I want to get. There we go. You don't see it right now, but I also pop one of the boss souls in my inventory. I popped the soul of the last giant to give me 6,000 extra souls, so I wanted to get something. But I don't plan on getting many of the boss soul weapons. Not many of them actually speak to me. There is one that I think I'll be getting. Possibly. But even then, it's not a guarantee. I think I have a bonfire aesthetic on this game, and if I do, then I know exactly where I'm going to be using it. Because I do kind of want this. But we'll see. You see we're running through here now. You'll see another one of my texture mods just around this corner. This sword you're about to see on the ground is supposed to be an kind of an icy blue colour. It's more of a turquoise colour. I've edited it to be red. You've also seen it in Sabos's playthrough, if you've watched that video.
The way your under's all blocked up, you see, by this god-awful statue. Heavens above. Who thought it a good idea to put it there? Oof, I'm in quite the pickle now. See that statue? Gives me the willies. You stare at it for long enough, it starts to look alive. It just doesn't seem quite right. There are no craftsmen round these parts. Hey, you don't think a real live person was turned to stone, do you?
For the record, in Sabos's playthrough, I killed this guy to get his sword. Yeah, so that's a mod, and it's the other version of that sword that's the boss weapon I'm thinking of getting. All the other boss weapons, I might get a few of them just because I think they're cool, but generally, I won't be getting them. Also, these guys, Scrotum guys, do not like Pyromancy, so if you have a fire-type weapon, they're not going to like it. For the record, later on, this character will be using a katana, hexes, Pyromancy, and perhaps that particular sword I mentioned. We'll see. Eventually I'll start leveling the faith, but not for a while, because until we actually get to the point in the game we can access hexes, which actually, if I'm honest, isn't very far from now, then there's not much point to me leveling my faith. Now with that said, we are going to get access to hexes pretty soon, so I should probably think about leveling that the next time I play the game. So after killing both of those two, I came this way in particular to use my Fragrant Branch of Yore because of this person. This person in particular is one of two we can unpetrify at this point. We can either unpetrify Strand of Orphis back at Lost Bastille when I mentioned that one bonfire, or this person. This person is currently more useful to me.
To speak. Give me a moment, please. I'm fine, I think. No. I'm fine. Really, I am. My name is Rosabeth. Thank you so much for rescuing me. Oh, that traveler. I still haven't thanked you. Well, I'm quite a hand at pyromancy. So perhaps you could consider this my thanks. I was attacked and turned to stone, I think. I owe you my life. If you had not come... Oh, I feel shameful wearing these rags. I hate to burden you further, as you've already saved my life. But just look at me. My clothes are in tatters. Do you have any clothing that you could spare? I'll take anything, whatever you don't need. I'm not particular when it comes to apparel. Anything at all will do. Just put it on the ground, and I'll change into it later.
And this is why I wanted to free her. She is a pyromancy trainer. And by that I mean you can buy pyromancy from her. I also give her my old robe just because I think it suits her. I also sold a lot of the crap in the last episode when I got to Govlan. But yeah. She sells some rings, and this is important, she sells more pyromancy. All of these spells are pyromancy spells. I choose to get Fireball and Fire Orb. I wanted to double check that Flash were actually reduced fire damage, and I thought it did, and I was right. Not something I'm going to use for a while though. Maybe when we get to Old Iron King, we'll see about that. So I buy 2 ones from this one. And then the reason I popped the Last Giant Soul was I'm not a fan of the weapon, it's a hammer. I've never liked hammers. And
I have my very own teacher. His name is Carillion of the Fold, a famed sorcerer in Melfia, our hometown. I was fascinated by sorcery, and so, well, he's so unique, you see. When he set out for Drang Lake, I couldn't let him go alone. But we were separated, quite early on, I'm afraid. I'm rather unskilled. My lord probably ditched me. But, oddly, I'm a fast learner when it comes to pyromancy. What we're fascinated by, and we're skilled at, are not always the same thing. Why can't I just focus on what I truly enjoy? Oh dear, I shouldn't be so choosy. It's hardly my place. I have my very...
well, a lot of talking in the last part of this mission video. So yeah, I popped the Last Giant Soul because I wanted to buy one of those fire seeds to upgrade my pyromancy flame, because pyromancy and more talking.
Clearing the way was you doing, was it? Didn't think you had it in you, pal. No. That's not like it sounds, no. It was a pleasant surprise, that's all. Name's Ben Hart. Thanks to you, I can resume my journey. If we share the same path, I'm sure that we are going to meet again. I'll repay my debt to you in battle. I swear it, by my sword. The road ahead's going to be long, but I'm here to help. It's a true man who honours his debts, and I'll see mine paid. I swear it by my ancient sword.
Yeah, there we go. I've 200 my bare fists to make it myself seem less threatening, because I have my sword away. So yeah, I wanted to buy one of those fire seeds, because pyromancy is more based on the pyromancy glove than anything else in the game. Intelligence and faith do raise it, with all my controller there, but generally it comes from the strength of the pyromancy flame, which when it's upgraded to plus 10 is going to be the strongest it is. And I didn't have enough to buy a fire seed because they're 8,000 souls a pop. So I ended up spending most of the boss souls, because I say not many of the boss weapons actually interest me. There's a few that I plan to get, but aside from that, not many. I know what my endgame weapons are going to be. Still working on the armor set though, that one I'm still working on. So I rest at the bonfire here to, this is me trying to pop these 2 souls here and I still didn't have enough. So I decided to pop the soul of the last turn. Also you see that bigger soul flame there, that's the soul of the lost sinner, the one that's next to the white sign soapstone, that's the soul of the lost sinner. So I could pop a fair few more souls in the next few parts to gain some more levels, but I don't think I'm going to. I rest at the bonfire here to reset the area, and to attune some spells. So I attune another fireball spell, and then I replace one of my soul arrows with a fire orb spell. Now, I missed her at first, maybe because she's not there. No, she's not there, what the hell? I refresh again, oh it's because I didn't refresh it, whatever. But I was wondering if I'd talked to this guy yet, and apparently I hadn't.
And you have that distinct scent.
So I decided to fuck off. After you bring enough people back to Majula, he'll give you something, but I just realised I'd never actually spoken to him, and I was getting kind of annoyed with myself, so I decided to just leave and reset the area to talk to her and buy a fire seed. I also decided to burn the sublime bone dust, so now I haven't. There she's just appeared. So now I have an Estus Splash times 2, plus 2 at my disposal, 5 of them. And then we go talk to her and round off the episode. So yeah, we got a bit done today, and again I'm sorry for what happened to the episode 4. I wish I could go back and record that bit, but Dark Souls automatically saves, and shows I'm talking about text again.
The only thing I can offer is pyromancy, but if that might help you, come to me.
And Chetty does wear the clothes you give her too. I completely forgot. There was conversation there. So there we go. You buy the fire seed, and then it costs that plus 3,000 souls to 1,000 souls, and it gets more expensive each time to reinforce the pyromancy flame.
I'm always here, so come and see me when you're in town.
And yeah. So now I do a bit of rearranging. I put my pyromancy flame onto my offhand, and flip the other scimitar onto my main hand. So now we'll always have access to one of our scimitars, even if one's starting to break. I can just switch to the other one, and they're both times 2, so that's pretty good. I was just checking everything checked out here, and I've had to show you the difference in pyromancy. So there's what fire orb does, bit larger and a bigger blast radius, and there's comparison. There's a regular fireball, and then I do another fire orb just to prove it. So there you go. Until next time, though, this will be the end for this episode. I've been Furiora Health here, and I hope you enjoyed. Until I see you next time, fare thee well.